Today I want to talk about deflation. We've talked about inflation, the causes and the effects, and now we're going to talk about deflation. We shouldn't mix deflation up with disinflation. Disinflation is when inflation goes down. Prices still go up, but they don't go up so fast. For example, if you've got 5% inflation, it goes down to 4%, that's disinflation, but prices are still going up 4%. But deflation is when they go into the negative, so they actually start going down. And that can be a problem too. We talked about inflation and how it can be a problem for the economy, especially if it goes very high. Now, deflation can also be a problem. If we can think, if prices go down for cars, for houses, for holidays, maybe I think, I won't buy a car this year, I'll buy it next year. So I stop. I decide not to buy because I think prices might be cheaper next year. Then, obviously, if nobody's buying, it's a problem for jobs. And the more people don't buy it, the more the prices go down. So it can create a vicious circle and also create unemployment, which is very serious. And, no economic activity, obviously, no profit, no money no richness, wealth being created. Now, what causes deflation? One of the big problems is that supply has increased relative to demand. If supply increases but demand increases, it's not a problem. But if supply increases and demand doesn't or increases less, prices will go down. If we remember our market forces diagram, imagine the demand stays the same, but supply increases, prices go down in that case. Just thinking, in America there's some big mansions that are selling for $10. Maybe they're in places where nobody wants to live, maybe there's a lot of fires or a lot of taxes, or there's no infrastructure, no roads or something, and nobody wants them. If there's nobody that wants them, the supply is too high, they go down and down. Think about these chocolate bars, there's so many of them, they have to sell them 4 for £1, but otherwise they can't get rid of them. So if supply is too high, prices do go down. Also, competition can have a big impact on prices and create deflation. If we think about a pricing strategy of a very competitive market, they can even go under the cost of the good, or producing the goods, just to put the other companies out of business, to get market share. But then you have the big problem of prices going down in that case. So competition can create smaller and smaller margins and reduce prices a lot in their fight for the market share. This is a problem, can create deflation. Also, technical advance. Technical advance means we produce a lot. If we produce a lot, prices go down. Think about the mobile phones. The first ones cost £1,000. I think it was £1,000 for a phone. This was decades ago. And now they cost so little because they're produced in such mass productions on such a big scale with technologies that can produce a lot, the prices go down. So technological advance can really affect the prices. It also, just affects the the quantity needed. If we increase the quantity of products, then we can use this technology, and this technology works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 hours days a year, never sick, never strikes, etc. So we can produce a lot, and we know if supply goes up that high, prices come down. Also, if demand falls, we can think here of the pandemic, the COVID. We have the balcony entertainment, and in that period demand went right down for many things, and that would have an impact on price, unless of course supply goes down, which probably did happen in this crisis. But for some things, even after this pandemic or the lockdown, after the lockdown, people's habits don't change. Maybe they don't go abroad or on holidays abroad, so the companies offering holidays abroad have to bring their prices down to attract people. So that can happen if market demand falls. The consequence of deflation. One would be consumers delay spending decisions, and this can be a big problem for jobs. If you, like I said, if you want to buy a car and the price is going down, a bit silly to buy it this year, especially with houses. If I have a lot of money to spend on a house for my son, for example, and I buy it now, and prices go down in 10 years when I really need it, it's better to wait and buy it in 10 years. So this delays spending decision. Also, you've got stocks of unsold goods. If people aren't buying because they're delaying, so you've got all this stock, and then you just don't need production. So firms cut production. They don't need the people to produce. They've already got the stock, so you get unemployment. This is the big economic consequence, the big fear. Deflation produces unemployment. Probably very good. Deflation is very good if you've got a lot of money and you don't need to work. Maybe pensioners that are rich, then they find their pensions and their savings go a lot further. But a lot of people will lose their jobs. Firms stop investing in new plant and machinery, because if they don't think they can make the profit, if the prices are going down, they won't want to expand their production or even to start production. And then you get the recession, the crisis in the economy. Okay, so what can the government do to change this? This happened a lot in Japan, and what can they do? They can do a lot through lowering interest rates, trying to get people to borrow money to buy, maybe to buy houses or cars or holidays, try to stimulate demand by lowering interest rates. The big problem with this is at the moment the interest rates are already very low, and so we don't have that option. We can't lower them more than zero, because then we will actually be paying people to take loans, which would defeat any reason, any objective of giving loans. Or just printing more currency. We've got this idea of quantitative easing now, where governments can literally create currency to buy back their past debt, but they create it out of nothing. They just increase the quantity of currency in the economy, and hopefully that currency will circulate. People will feel richer and feel more able, less worried about having to save, and more open to spending on holidays and cars, etc. Getting the economy going in that way.